we're doing it in the right vein, in the right spirit, and we're doing it in a way that's effective, because just exposing evil is enough. That's what these people hate. They don't like you to know that they're foes, that they're phonies, that they're pseudo, nice guys. That's what they want you to think. Oh, you people that oppose the unmitigated refugees and all this, even though these same people are the ones that cause the clash of civilization, that are starting these dubious wars, okay, stirring up the hornet's nests around the world, creating all the problems, the imbalance. It's through the money. It's a very powerful satanic force that these people are operating with. Your George Soros types. And I'm not condemning anybody, because George Soros might live in a room above me in heaven, and he'll start banging on the floor if, or hell, maybe I'll go to hell. I don't know. I trust in God. I mean, all I know is I'm going to work. I'm going to fight the good fight. And I'm going to trust in him, because I got nothing else to trust in, that I'm going to go to a better realm, one that I deserve. If I'm, maybe I'm lying to myself to say I'm willing to lay all my cards on the table and say, look, I will go out and serve. I will give higher quality work. I won't be under a schedule. It won't, time is money, all that BS nonsense. Okay, I won't have all those hang-ups. So I will do a better job, a wonderful job for you. Okay, that's all I've got. I believe it. Maybe I'm self-deceived to say that. I believe fully that the system won't break down. That when you cut people's work week down from 40 hours to 5 hours is all that we really need you. But you can hang around and we can shoot the breeze and do something else, because we got all this, machinery and automation technology and state-of-the-art equipment doing the jobs. This industrial age we live in, a very natural offshoot of our godlike intelligence. That we did these things to save us work. So, whatever. You understand what I'm getting at here? So I believe what I believe. I believe that, I'm honest about that. And I believe the system would work. So we've all got to just, understand, just toy with that idea of what I'm saying here. It's just this idea of being born free, okay? Just like all the other creatures. It's not that far-fetched. It's not that radical, okay? And it's not such a, kooky, communist, lefty, socialist idea, but really it embraces conservative values of low taxes, a low cost of living, and it's going to nothing, because, like, again, that you take this thing to its extreme end, you see that money's going to be irrelevant. We're not going to care about money. It's as simple as that. It's not hard. Just take it to its end, to its natural end, and you see. And this is what these evildoers are deathly afraid of, people figuring it out. That yes, it's true that we can be free, and the system will still work. We don't need to be elitists that hold one. Oh well, I guess we need those farm workers working for such low wages. Otherwise, we couldn't get cheap fruits and vegetables, right? So. That's going to be a problem. You understand how the nonsense, the madness, and how easy it is for all of us, any of us, to fall into that. Believe. If you believe in it a little, you prescribe to it a little, then you open the floodgates of hell. You open Pandora's box. You open that can of worms, and it's just, who's in control? The devil's in control at that point. So you can't do it if you don't believe 100% in egalitarian principles. They're very American, this idea of equality, the right to pursue happiness, and having a consensus, to have a meeting of the minds, defining things like progress, defining relative to social, political, and economic matters, and defining freedom. What is freedom, and what does it entail? To have it for everybody? What does it mean? So this is it. In order to be free, we've got to feel, equal. We don't ever want to be one up on somebody and say, well, I don't want to be the boss of anybody myself. I really don't. Okay. I abhor it. I just, let's work together. I might have a good idea. Does that make me the boss of the idea? No, some other guy, well, he knows how to build it. I can't do that. So I cannot bring my idea to fruition without this guy and this guy and this guy and this. You understand how it works? So I don't really care about being the boss and getting any kudos for anything. Okay, I just don't. I don't. We need foremen and supervisors for so that because they know more. These are like the teachers on a project or whatever that lead the way, but they themselves are likely to be humble and have a lot of humility. And these are the people that we're going to naturally want to follow. Okay, and that we're going to exalt as leaders that don't care about any kudos. They say, "All glory to God. I'm an invention. I'm a creature of God, a creation of God. I am what I am. God is living vicariously through me. I am living vicariously through Him, just as we all are. We're His children. What does He want for us? He wants us to be happy, to be free, to live in peace and safety and security and contentment and prosperity. Okay, and security, to be out of fear completely. This is what's reasonable and logical and makes sense. So if we come to agreement on that, we can heal our divide and find peace in the land and prosperity and freedom. That's it. The prosperity thing is just about freedom. It's being financially free. So we can get there. But we've got to just understand just how entrenched, how immersed, embedded the evil is in our society. And how it's just each one of us just has to have a moment of clarity. And like I talk about, I compare these pools of water. We're all swimming in this opaque, muddied and bloodied water. So we're all just not getting it. So we're just kind of biting the bullet and just capitulating at least at enough. I get it. God gets it, and we're also but He's calling us to come into the cool, clean waters of thought, of freedom. And at least go there for to realize it's doable. We can get there. If you can imagine it, you can attain it, and be completely free. Leave the muddied, bloody waters behind to the Luciferians. They're over here. They've separated themselves. They're in the nice, clean, cool, clear waters of Satanism and Luciferianism and abandonment of conscience, and saying, "Look, I don't serve that God. I don't value my conscience like you. I don't value my soul like you. I don't value ethics and morals and principles and all that nonsense that you value. I just want money and the power and the control and those things, all those good things to me. That's my good God is Lucifer that gives me those things. That's all I care about. So you guys swim around, you fight each other, and I'll just extract your wealth, your blood, sweat, and tears. I'll just steal enslave you forever, and the best slave is one that doesn't even know it. So don't listen to a clown like me and telling you, hey, you don't have to be there. You can swim over here. At the same time, I'm telling you, I'm stuck in the muddied and bloodied, opaque waters of death and destruction as well. I get it. God gets it. But we've got to do our best. This is fighting the good fight, struggling to get out, but knowing we can't go it alone. Yes, at the end of the day, we stand alone, because when we take the last breath, that's it. We got to explain and to do to our owner only. We're not going to have any time to explain to anybody else anymore. We're dead for all intents and purposes. We're entered the big sleep, the next realm, whatever. So we got to be ready to be judged and stand before our Creator. Okay, but in the meantime, this fighting the good fight is for everybody. It's just what Jesus says: store your treasures in heaven. What are our treasures? It's each other, because the last thing you want in heaven is to be alone. We want a lot of like-minded people there. We want friends and family and just human beings, other little children of God to play with and do stuff with and experience, and just get the blessings and just praise God for every human being and go, wow, this is so cool. All these deep and profound, intricate beings that you made, and I could spend eternity, and I will spend eternity getting to know and meet people and other souls. And, this is very cool, and God did it all. And so those are our treasures. We should see each other as our treasures if we did that. You understand, it's a big aid to empowering us to coming out of this thing, because we'll value ourselves more and understand why God values us, why He loves us with this agape love, why He's numbered the hairs on our head, that we're precious treasure to Him, and letting people know that. And this is the incentive to come out of the darkness and into the light, come out of the muddied and bloodied waters of the New World Order cabal and these devil worshippers and all these people that claim to be the altruistic ones, and they're the compassionate ones, when they're the cause of all. They're setting the root fires of all our problems, And this is why it always comes back to economics, understanding this. That, we've got this chain reaction situation where they got the housing. Bill Clinton allowed the Glass-Steagall Act to expire. He allowed them to go Wild West and dump all this money on us. And this resulted in the bailout of '08. We've got to revisit recent history. We've got to have a reset. Housing prices need to collapse. They do. And people got to see that as a good thing. That means when I say housing prices collapse, that means you need to see your housing dollars go through the roof. That's how you put out this fire that these people started, this central fire, the cause of all our problems. Remember, the money is involved in all the other problems, and people scrambling for money and just to survive, to pay their bill, to crack that ever harder nut to crack, to reach that bar that's ever higher to reach, hyper-competitiveness, social Darwinism, Cloward and Piven strategy. All this crap, we've got to understand this is deliberate. They've done this intentionally, and this is the root of the problem. Going back to this, we need a reset of economic reality. So let's revisit recent history, see a collapse of the housing costs, essential human need. You understand why I don't care if they manipulate markets? They can't get away with it in the luxury arena. They never, because we don't need that crap. But we need food, shelter, water, and energy. So any of those four things that they manipulate and they fix the prices with these special interest groups colluding together, okay, that's what they've done. And the government's the most pernicious of all, these high-ranking politicians that validate and legitimize the theft of the wealth of our nation through that bailout of '08. They said, no, it's okay. We got this giant-ass bonfire burning here, and we're just going to it's okay. It's okay. Let that fire burn. You see how this thing works? So get it. And then we got all these spot fires. This is why people always need a raise in the cost of living adjustment, and we all just take it, oh, well, it's just the way it is, and we all think we understand inflation and all this, and, oh, it's just the way it is, and just it's all about every man for himself, just prescribe to the social Darwinian philosophy and the ignorance is bliss philosophy and not my problem philosophy, and you'll be all right. Just go out and listen to those smart people that tell you, that the business to be in is get a higher education, and it becomes like a buy-in. I don't object to people getting all the education they want, but let's admit it's a buy-in program. So often you get these credentials, these kudos, and this, so this is what, qualifies you because we say so and we're the authorities. Do you understand how the educational institutions, these, especially the higher ones, have done this? And then we got the mainstream media totally remiss at doing their job as being the cutting edge educators. They're informing us. What is information? Information is education. Education is information. So it's no wonder we're all effed up in the head. We don't know up from down barely, black from white. We don't know what the hell. We're manipulated to the nth degree by this so-called reality, which is nothing more than a perversion. It's an unreality. It's just madness that's crammed down our throats, and they've done it just incrementally. Like the frog in the, slowly boiled in the water. Okay, he doesn't notice it, so he can't jump out. If they tried to get away with this overnight, this moving of the Overton window, we're moving the Overton window. We as Americans would have said, hell no, man, you snatching our freedom away through indebting us? Is $20 trillion in debt? You tell us it's a good thing? You're going to let this raging fire of the theft of the wealth of our nation keep burning through how high housing costs and this causing this chain reaction and everything else has to go up in cost? Got a fire here, got a fire there, got to raise prices here, got to raise prices there. And we all think we understand. Well, it's just to keep up. You understand my cost went up, so I got to pass it on to you. My cost, I got to pass it on. You understand this debasement of our currency, and everybody's acting stupid. Let's stop acting stupid and look at the child. Ask the child to divine progress. Explain to the child the rhymes and the reasons of supply and demand, capitalism, economic principles and policies, why that creates a lower cost of living. Because it's easier and easier to produce the things we not only need, but the things we want. That's why the price of a pack of gum went from 50 cents to 10 cents. They can understand that. And ask them, is that a bad thing? They're never going to tell you it was a bad thing. Yet we got people that want to object. And I can't have people wanting to, I can't shrink away from this. There's no way. This is like shrinking away from reality. 2 + 2 = 4. You can never say it equals something else. So if you want to play games with real estate, do it at the high end. If you're uber wealthy, then you steal from the uber wealthy, okay, and you manipulate and you speculate and you invest with the uber wealthy. If you're, just let's say you're upper middle class wealthy, just I'm just a millionaire worth 100 million or a couple 100 million. I'm not no billionaire, then you stick to your type, okay, in the real estate arena, housing and all that. You want to manipulate and speculate and invest and all that crap, flip, whatever, build, okay, then you stick to your class, okay. But the way it is now, okay, picking on the low-hanging fruit is not okay. This is why I'm always bitching about guys like Robert Kiyosaki. And before that, it was guys like Carlton Sheets, remember, back in the 80s and 90s, pumping up, hey, you should become a real estate speculator, a flipper, a landlord, an investor in this business. And so they took all the low